Hello everyone and welcome to the video. That's right, this is the only video on the internet right now and it's gonna stay that way for all eternity in perpetuity. This is gonna be the only video you're gonna be able to watch on this website from now until the death of the universe. And it's gonna be a doozy one. So anyway, have you ever been playing a game and you looked at the game and you were like, oh my god, there's such amazing low poly assets. I must have them right now. Well, if you did, I'd go to to see a doctor about that. That's kind of weird. But just in case, I have a perfect video for you because today we're going to be making some low poly assets in Blender and texturing them, getting them ready for the game just to see how the process is done. Not for you, but for me. Actually, this is my first time ever opening Blender, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, that was a bit of a joke. I'm a bit of a jokester, not a funny one, but I try to be. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do when you open Blender is press the button A. And when you press the button A, you select everything in the scene. Then you press X and you delete everything because the cardinal sin is working on the starting cube. So in order to start actually modeling, we got to have, something to model. So then you press Shift A, go to Mesh, and create a cube. If you don't get it, don't worry, one day you will. I haven't gotten it just yet, but apparently this is the way to do it, and that's the way I'm doing it. There are several ways, obviously, to go about making a low poly model in Blender, but I'm going to go through the most simple one, which is using the mirror and just modeling something that resembles a building. In my case, I'm going to make a hotel, or I'm going to try and make a hotel of sorts. So the way we go about that is we go into edit mode and we press Ctrl R to create this division. We select face, we delete vertices, we select this bad boy, we add a mirror modifier, we enable clipping, and we're ready to go. Now, this won't be a tutorial. This is just going to be me commenting my thoughts as I'm modeling. So I'm not going to be covering shortcuts, how to use certain things, what to do with them. There's plenty of that stuff already on YouTube. This is just sort of to see myself doing it and then uploading it for some reason. I don't know. So the first thing we do is we grab everything, right? We grab the whole thing. We can enable snapping for now, and we're gonna scale it on Z axis. In order to do that though, there we go. So now we have roughly the size of our hotel. It's it's gonna be a big hotel. It's gonna be a cheap looking hotel as well. Next thing we do is we just move it on Z axis till it's about there, because that's the only thing that matters. Now we're gonna be doing some funky stuff by creating a bunch of separations, or rather edge loops, right? Because we're gonna be needing them. So we're just gonna create a bunch of them right there. For now, I'm gonna leave that like right there. We're gonna do first thing actually I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert a face here, remove the boundary, and extrude it down, because we're gonna be making a funky pool up here, maybe, if I know how to do that. We're gonna see. And then we can do we're gonna do just a couple. Okay, there we go. We're gonna be doing the same thing here, right? And then we have to fix this, right? So what we gotta do is delete all these unnecessary edges, right? Because we don't need them here just yet. The way you do that is just press X and dissolve edges, and that's gonna be just fine. Then we're gonna merge by distance, just in case there are some overlapping vertices. Every once in a while, you're gonna press M and merge by distance while selecting everything. That's like a good way to lower the polygon count in the long run. So let's make the doors, shall we? We're gonna do a loop cut here to separate like that. Should we do arc doors? Yeah, let's do arc doors. So Select that, move it on Z-axis, switch to vertices, move it up there, select that, and then extrude it inwardly. And we got a bit of an arc. It's not a large arc or arch. I think it's arc. English major here, by the way, right? So we have a bit of an indentation there that's going to act as doors. Again, this is a low poly model, so you don't really have to worry too much about it. We're going to be selecting only these faces, right? Like so. Actually, let's start with this one. We can have another loop cut right there. There we go. And then we can be doing the funky stuff. We're gonna extrude inwardly. So we have our windows, right? We have our windows on the front, and then we can have some windows on the side if you so choose. So I'm gonna do it like this. This is gonna be like cheap rooms. These are gonna be more expensive rooms. You could also make balconies if you'd like, but they take a bit more work and I'm not in the mood for that. So let's just extrude that inwardly. As you can see, everything is being mirrored on this side, which saves a lot of time. On the rear, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe we're gonna do some like funky advertisement or something, but probably not. So we have like the general look of a hotel, sort of. This is more of a skyscraper as of now, so maybe I'm gonna switch it to a skyscraper because it's gonna be easier. Because with hotels, you obviously have sideways amenities like restaurants that I'm gonna have to tack onto this, and I don't feel like doing it. But maybe we can just like add a very simple rectangle cube here for a restaurant, and that's gonna be like a finished hotel complex. So let's add that pool, shall we? Switch to the top side view, press K for a knife tool. Then we're gonna do like that, like that, like that. Okay, so we're gonna select that, we're gonna insert it a bit, right? We're gonna extrude that. We're gonna extrude it a bit deeper because again, it is a pool, I suppose, right? The best way to get the effect of like an actual pool is gonna be through a shader, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it in like a base color to indicate that it's water, and that's all that matters. So obviously, when it comes to pools, you want to have a bit of a detail. I might add like a very low poly ladder much later on. For now, though, what you can do is select this and move it along the y-axis, then move this along the y-axis, because then you have that natural pool decline, a steep decline that a lot of rooftop pools have, where at the start it's like for the children to dip in, and then you go a bit deeper. You can also add it through steps and stairs, but that requires a few extra things, and I'm not gonna do that. Obviously, we need access to this pool. What you could do is create like a circular opening right here through beveling circle, not beveling, through Boolean arrays. No, through just Boolean. I'm so confused right now. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the classic old building in New York opening, which is just going to be this, but extruded upward with a door in it. So in order to do that, switch back to the top view, press knife again. In order to snap it, just press A, right? We're gonna do this, gonna do that, gonna do that. There we go. Just extrude it now. We're gonna have the mirror effect right there. We can make this a bit more interesting by pressing Ctrl B to bevel it a little bit, right? Then what you can do is insert that and make it like a window, you know, so that has a bit more detail on it. Next thing you do is you can do an insert if you'd like, but the easier way to do it is just grab a knife. The way you, because now if you press snap, it's not going to be perfectly aligned with these, right? The way you do it is you press, okay, I can't do it because I haven't made it taller than the railing. Oh, whatever. we can just make a very simple door like that, and like that. Yeah, whatever. It's good enough. Like, nobody's gonna notice this. Honestly, this is like a lot of pointless work that's not gonna be noticed. So what we can do is extrude inwardly, and we can dissolve this edge because it's unnecessary. There we go. We have door, we have entrance to the pool. We're gonna add some chairs and tables later, but that's gonna increase poly count by a decent amount actually, because even for like the simplest table, you still need around 20, 30 quads, maybe triangles, I don't know. So for now, this is good enough detail-wise. So let's tab out of the edit mode. Let's add another cube. Let's make that restaurant, shall we? So let's do that. There we go. There we go. Let's actually move it on the other side. There we go. So what we can do is go into edit mode, select the top face, move it down. Okay, we gotta remove gridding. There we go. And then do this, extrude it out. There we go. Okay, so it's below the window line just enough that it we can move it down just a little bit more. There we go. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna create a few edge loops like that, and we're gonna create a few of them like that. Okay, so first thing, because we're not doing mirror here, it's gonna be a bit more annoying, but I'm not gonna make anything complex. So yeah, let's make the doors first. So we're gonna have to create another bit like that, right? Oops, that's not what I wanted. I keep forgetting. Okay, so we're gonna select these three. No, we're just gonna select this because it's the only way to make it align without going overboard. Extrude it inwardly. Now we gotta take a knife tool, separate it like that. Okay, let's do that. And where am I? Okay. Okay. So let's select the knife tool. What we can do is select knife tool again. Question is, we gotta scale it. So these are the big ass hotel doors, right? And they gotta kind of match, so they have to be this door. But I forgot about that. So we're gonna undo all that, and we're just gonna take all these three and extrude them inwardly. And then what we can do is just take these and extrude them up. There we go. So now we have a bigger restaurant to work with. There we go. Okay, so dissolve these edges because we don't need them any longer. We're gonna dissolve gonna dissolve these as well. Okay, so let's make it a bit more creative. So this is the, let's just select all of them, do that, then deselect these and do that, then deselect these and do that, and finally do that. So we create a bit of an arc to give, you know, a bit more unique look to our restaurant. So the next thing we do is we just select, we select these for like the windows. They don't have to be perfectly aligned anymore, so we can just do like fancy stuff like that. Let's go to the side, or rather the rear. and we're just gonna add like a big ass window. So these. In order to extrude them, because if you press E right now and try to extrude, like that happens, but you can press Alt-T and extrude along the normals and just do that. So now it's done on both sides equally. So the next thing you do is you create one face by pressing F, right? And then do the same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, and same thing here. And then select all and merge by distance. As you can see, I've just removed 60 overlapping vertices. So on the side, I thought I could do something like an ad or advertisement because hotels have that, but then I'd have to create a separate texture and I don't want to do that, so that's completely fine. We are going to do something here though. So we're going to merge all that and I'm going to insert a face and I'm going to extrude outward because this is where our text is going to be, essentially saying, hey, look, this is a restaurant. So eventually I'm going to have to do complete retopology, so I may as well like get the most obvious ones out of the way. There we go. That's fine for now. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's add a bit of a... We're going to add a window there, right? So like that. So if we select all these three, right, and we extrude them inwardly, we're going to have nice window as well. So let's just merge these. Again, doing retopology is annoying, but it's kind of a necessary evil. When it comes to low poly models, though, you probably don't really have to do them because it doesn't matter that much. But it's a good habit to pick up to essentially just remove unnecessary faces. All right, so merge by distance, never mind. I do want to create like a chimney. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to select this, I'm going to extrude it. In order not to extrude it this way, so you press extrude and you just extrude it by Z-axis. So you press Z-axis twice. There we go. So in order to fix this issue that we have of it being angled, you just take that and you do this. There we go. Perfect. So now what we can do is we can insert this, do this, and then we can select these faces and scale and extrude them, scale them out, and yeah, this is, for a low poly chimney, this is completely fine, right? So we have essentially made most of the things. Like obviously Hotel Complex has more stuff to it, but this is fine for like a very low poly model that's going to be used like from this direction, right? So let's make those tables and chairs. So exit, Shift A. I'm going to make a circle with 8 vertices. Move it along the x-axis, scale it down considerably, right? Go into edit mode, fill it, right? We can do frame selected, extrude it by distance, okay? Let's select this and then it add just a little bit. Okay, so now we need to add like legs, or I'm just gonna do one leg because it's much easier. So select this face, insert it until it's, I hate when this happens. I'll just do it. Let's just do it twice. Nope. There we go. Okay, so we do that, we extrude it, right? We extrude it again, and then we scale it out. And you can do retopology if you like by just like merging everything, but it's kind of unnecessary. The only one you really ought to do is this. But honestly, you can probably delete these faces. Delete this face definitely. You can delete this because it's not going to be seen, but in case you want it to be seen, you can just sort of leave it. So we have our table, right? And let's tab out and let's make a quick chair. We're going to do a cube. We're going to move it way over here. We're going to scale it down, move it back here, scale it down further, right? So let's do that. Let's just hide everything. No, not that. Let's hide everything else. So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, so let's edit. So select this. Select this. Right. Select this. So we have our seat basically. Next thing we can do is add edge loops. There we go. Ensure that they're on both sides, and then you just sort of do this, extrude up, right? Select this, extrude down. Okay. So what you can do is take this, extrude up, and then select these faces and press fill. But what you can also do is extrude, right? And then select everything, merge by distance. It's gonna do it. Okay. So you can then select this, and this, press fill, and that gives you the scale. So select everything, move it along the Z-axis, make sure that it's approximately the side of the table, maybe a bit larger. Oops. There we go. And then just rotate it along the Z-axis. There we go. So now you have, you can do also retopology if you'd like, but I can't be bothered. It's gonna take too long. So now we have our table and we have our chair. Let's just move it in just a little bit. Oops. There we go. Okay, so you can add multitude of chairs and whatnot. I'm not gonna do that because that's the job you do in Unity. These are just individual models that you have that you can then export separately, right? I'm not gonna do that because again, it's a job for another time. Right now, we're just making a hotel, so let's just grab these two. Let's move them up. Let's move them here. And then let's right-click and drop it. It's an add-on that you can download. That's pretty useful, but as you can see, they're pretty large, so we gotta scale them both down and move them over to, oops, to the pool. There we go. And the hotel is done. Now, the next thing we can do is we can make texts about these things. So let's select the hotel first. Let's go into edit mode. Let's do insert. Oh my god, I sometimes hate this tool so much. Then select this, move it along the... Okay, select everything, merge by distance so we can remove the unnecessary ones, move it by x-axis, then extrude outwards, and this is going to be where our hotel text is going to be. So the way you do text is fairly simple. You press Shift A and you just, you know, select text. That's it. So if you want to do some changes, the one that you probably want to do is in geometry, you want to extrude it a little bit to give it that 3D look. Rotate it by y-axis and rotate it by axis. Actually, y minus 90. There we go. So move it to the front, move it up there, scale it down, move it this way, scale it down. There we go. If you want to edit the text, you just enter edit mode, you delete everything, and I just type hotel, then move out, and oops. So move it out, move it up, and move it this way. There we go. We have our first text. Next thing you can do is press right click, convert to mesh, because if you don't plan on editing the text itself anymore, just convert it to mesh. Right, we can go to edit mode. You can merge by distance to remove a bunch of vertices, but there is one thing that I forgot to do actually, which is resolution. We gotta lower that to lower the number of vertices that the O is gonna have. You can actually go as far as 1 to give it that sort of unique look, and then you can press convert to mesh, and then if you go here, it has a much fewer vertices. You still want to remove them, and if you are really conscious of the amount of polygons that you have, you can what's it? Oh my god. You can boolean it into the hotel itself to remove the rear facing faces. I'm not concerned with optimization just yet. It's just me, you know, having fun a little bit. So I'm just going to leave it. What I can do is I can duplicate it. So Shift D, right? We have a duplication. Then move it along the X-axis, right? And Z-axis. Actually, I can't do that. I forgot because I converted it to the mesh. I'm a bit of a moron, as you can see. On like a very distant, you're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. But I just like having it. You know, you can just remove it if you'd like. So for the restaurant, we're just going to have to create a new mesh. It's going to be text, right? So rotate it. There we go. Text. Same thing as before, lower the resolution to 1, give it just a bit of extrude for that 3D feeling. Oh my god, how do you spell restaurant? Eating hall. I don't want to misspell it, because I know that I always misspell restaurant. I legitimately always misspell it. I don't know why. It's one of those words, you know. So we gotta scale it down, we gotta bring it up, there we go, and then do that. Scale it up, scale it up. Okay, there we go. You can't actually see it, can you? Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. So we have basically finished like a very, very simple version of a hotel. So the next thing we do is we texture it. And the way we texture in low polygon is through base colors, essentially. So what you do is you go into shading, and then you import a texture. So let's first, actually, there's one thing that, let's first texture the hotel itself, shall we? So let's actually rename stuff. The hotel, table, what is this? So this is going to be eating hall. So this is going to be share. This, oh, I didn't convert this to mesh, my bad. So right click, convert to mesh, merge by distance, there we go. So this is going to be eating all text, and there's the hotel. So we go to shading, we select the hotel, we press the new material, and we import the texture. The texture that I have is basically this, right? It's just a bunch of colors on 256 by 256 resolution that you then use to basically fill out the colors of your model. So the one thing you have to do, because if you just do it like this, oops, if you just do it like this, it's gonna look like a gradient, which is not what you want. You change from linear to closest to get that really cube feel, right? So we then go to UV editing, and this is where we're going to be doing most of our texturing. So first thing we do is we just remove all of that because we don't need it. So first thing we select is all the glass surfaces. So select them, all of them, right? Which is why mirroring is super useful, and you shouldn't be applying it just yet. We didn't do anything with the rear, but it's fine. I can't be bothered. So we select all the glass surfaces. Then you press U, essentially to unwrap them. Then you select everything here. You scale it down, and you select which color you want them to be. So I'm going to do this, right? To see your results in real time, go here and check texture, right? So as you can see, all our windows are now colored in this shade of blue. So if you want to make some unique changes, like for instance this, just select it and give it a different color like that. I also forgot to extrude this as well, so I'm not going to touch it. It's fine. I'm not the one at fault. It's the design on a hotel, right? So the next thing we do is we take these two, we do the same thing, we unwrap them. So we unwrap them, we select everything, we scale it down, and we select the color of water, whichever one you want. And that's fine, right? I didn't make a ladder, I didn't make any of the railings. That also takes like 3 minutes to make, but I can't be bothered, so it's fine. Next thing you want to do is you want to select the body of the hotel. So that means select all of this, right? We also haven't done anything with the baseline structure, but it's fine. So select all of that. You select all the faces at the front, right? So select that. We also select that, we select that, we select that, we select that, we select that. And maybe these lower ones, because you might be able to see them, right? So we've selected everything, and then you do the same thing here. You select everything, right? We are selecting everything. There are easier way to do this, by the way, like through grouping, but I can't be bothered to learn those ways. So you do the same thing, you unwrap, you select everything, and you scale it down, and you then go to whatever color of the building you want to have. So we have this. Next thing you do is, oh, I forgot about this. So we can just move this over here. There we go. Okay, so now we want to do this. You don't have to unwrap it because it's grouped together. And then you move it like, I don't know, maybe completely white or green. Let's just go with green to give it a bit of color. Oh, there we go. We also have to fix these things though, because they can be seen. So let's quickly fix those. These are mistakes that are like easily fixed. I didn't even do complete retopology, where this would have been 1,000 times easier to do because you would just have to select one face essentially for all of this. But it's fine, right? So we do that. It's all grouped together anyway, so we just move it up here. Okay, there we go. Oh, I forgot these two. Oh my god. We all learn from our mistakes, right? So now you saw what kind of mistakes I make, so just don't make the same ones as I do. Okay, so oh my god. I just suck so much. I just suck so much. So let's do that. There we go. Next thing I want to actually do is fix this. So I'm gonna make this all into one face, right? I'm gonna select everything merge by distance just to make sure. So take this, instead of face, do this. There we go. So now what we can do is do this, do this, do this, do that. Yeah, one face. Do oops. So do this, do that. Yeah, one face. Do this, do that. Oops, do that. Oof. We have no, okay, I can't do that. It screws with it. Okay, this is fine. What we can do is fix that. We don't need this many faces, right? There we go. So what we can do is we take this face and we give it like a green color to give it like a garden look or whatever. And select these two. Select here, move them over here, scale them down a little bit to give them like that highlight look. That makes it sort of a standout, right? So obviously there is no like extreme detail on this. But we can select this. We can move it here to give it a bit more color. Maybe move it here. Or we can make it darker. Yeah, let's make it darker to make it pop out. You can also do this to sort of give the illusion of a pool, right? That is filled with water. But yeah, there is no detail here. What you could do is create either a different texture, where it's sort of a gradient level texture, or you can start selecting individual faces and giving them a bit more depth, right? You can also try doing it through a normal map, but that would require a bit more complicated of a texture, which is not what we're doing here. For now, honestly, for like a low poly model, this is completely fine. You don't have to think about it. Sorry. So for the next thing, let's texture the eating hole. So if you go to shading, we go to eating hole, we're gonna select the exact same material, right? And we can go to UV editing, select everything, right? We have that. And then we just repeat the exact same process, right? You select the mirror. I haven't done anything on the side here, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. We select everything. We do UWrap to sort of group them together. We scale it down, and we give them that color, right? So next, you select all this, which is why doing retopology on your model can speed things up, right? because you don't have to select so many individual faces. You can just do like a few, but it's fine, right? It's completely fine. So we have selected everything on this side. This side is super easy, just do that. This side is also kind of easy, so just do that. Then select all of these. There we go. Select all of these. Select that. And that. Okay. I'm also going to do the sides just because I'm right there, so it doesn't matter. And then we select that. We're going to do rooftop separately because I want a different color. So we do the same thing. We unwrap it. We select everything. You don't have to do clever seaming here, luckily, like with more complex models. So we scale it down, and we're going to make it a bit darker than the hotel so that it stands out, right? Then what we can do is select this, Control plus, Control plus, Control plus, Control plus, and then you can do deselection. But the easier way is to just do this, basically. So do that, do that, do that, do that. Actually, I'm gonna make the chimney a different color, so let's just deselect them. There's just so many faces on the chimney, man. I could have done such a better job of retopology, but it doesn't matter. So, since everything is grouped together, you don't have to do much. So let's just make it red. Like, why not? Why not make it red? What we can do then is select these. Right? And we're gonna unwrap them. We're gonna take them. We're gonna scale them down and make them much darker. Not much darker, but just slightly darker to give it that impression that there's depth there when there is none. So now we can select the chimney, right? That's fine. And since it's grouped together, you don't have to. You're gonna make it dark, and oops, make this dark as well. And yeah, this can remain this color, it doesn't matter. Oh, we gotta make this dark. There we go. Okay, so this is basically texturing done, right? Again, it's very simple, very basic, just mostly primitive colors to give like this impression of depth and whatnot. I do have to make change here because that's not the color I want. I'm gonna make it green. I also have to change the color of that because that's not the door. So we're gonna make this green, and we're gonna take this. Was it this? Yeah, okay. We can also make changes to this. Just some quick fixes, right? And we can make this actually like a darker color to give a bit more depth. There we go. Let's do the same thing to, oops, I did not see these two. There we go. Oh my god, I didn't see this either. This is the issue where you don't do retopology. You get shocked with how many details you missed. So just move it over here. So there we go. There we go. We're finally done. So, why is this brighter than the rest? Okay, no, never mind. Okay, there we go. So we finally have textured this, whatever. I just realized I don't have any brown textures for like the table and the chair, so I'm not going to be doing any texturing there. Next thing we can do is we can texture the text. All right, so we go to shading, we select hotel, we select this material, the same as before, right? Go to UV editing, and what you can do is unwrap it, or you can even do smart unwrap if you want, but it doesn't really matter because you're just going to scale it down, and we're going to make it red to pop out, and there we go. That's done. Then we go to shading, we select this, we select the same material, we go back to UV editing, we do the exact same thing, we do smart unwrap, eating whole cut, and we scale it down, and there we go, we have done it. I just realized, oh my god, there's just so many things. There we go. That's my phone, ignore that. So we have done it. You can then use some shaders in Unity or Unreal to make the text pop up in like neon colors if you'd like. With like stronger lighting, you might be able to see text, but because it's such low resolution, you probably won't, if I'm being completely honest with you. But you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. It for like very minimal effort that I put into this, and very, very minimal, as you saw. This isn't bad. Like I missed a window there. Every window apparently has the same color. I also just realized that I did this. I don't know even how. I am so bad at this, dude. I am just so legitimately bad. There we go. Okay, that's better. But yeah, you can change lighting just to sort of see what it looks like in different lighting. And as you can see, it's, you know, it's recognizable kind of as a hotel. It doesn't really look like a hotel. It looks more like a skyscraper plus like a side building or whatever. Because I didn't plan this out whatsoever. As you can probably guess from the level of quality of this, this is just like me spitballing. So yeah, for how much effort I put into this, this is completely fine, honestly. It even kind of looks like a pool, except it has nothing around it, so it looks kind of whack, and this is so annoying. I'm half tempted to just fix this. You know what? You know what? I am actually gonna fix this. I can't do it. So let's just do that, and it's like a super fast fix as well. I don't know why I didn't do it before. So yeah, all that's left is chair and table. I guess we can actually just do like super quick. So take this material, UV editing. Let's just select that, unwrap it. We're just gonna make it like white. I guess it's like gonna be like a plastic table or whatever. Question is, does it clash with? It's basically the same color, so I can't do it. Let's just make it green, and then we're gonna make the chair red. UV editing. There we go. You can almost kind of make out what it's what it is. The good thing about low poly projects is that you can essentially just like do this, right? Select everything and just scale them up, and you have just like, you know, normal version chair and table if you'd like. But yeah, so that has been my attempt at making a hotel. It doesn't really look like a hotel. It looks like a basic skyscraper with very... I don't know why I did rear here, but I didn't do it here. And then I did sides here, but I didn't do it here. Nothing I did makes any sense. But you know what? Again, considering the effort I put into this, this isn't even that bad, honestly. The next thing would obviously be just exporting FBX file, pairing it up with a texture, and yeah, placing it in the game. So anyway, thank you for sticking around if you had up until this point. I hope you picked up on a few things. If you have any suggestions, any insults, you know, I bet you have those. Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. It's going to be super fun. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you some other time.